A very good morning to everybody. I have no mic. Can you hear me? I've got a problem. Can you hear me outside? Hello? Yes. A very good morning from the jury this morning, and welcome to the public at this World Breeding Championships 6-year-old final. We are at the second level of international competition today for young horses. They were in the first level yesterday, the 5-year-olds. The second level is today, and this afternoon you will see the third level, which is a new class which makes a crossover between pure quality judging and technical. Once the horses go through that stage, they go into open competition internationally in the small tour and thereafter Grand Prix. So we are looking today for horses with quality in all their gaits. We want to see rhythm, suppleness, elasticity, impulsion, swinging over the back and ground cover, and also the ability to collect. The second score for walk will include the rhythm, the relaxation, the activity, ground cover, freedom of shoulders, and very important that it is clear 4-beat. The score for canter, of course, rhythm, uphill tendency, suppleness, elasticity, the natural balance, and very important at this level is the ability to collect again. For submission, here we will take into account the obedience of the horse according to the scale of training, the level that the horse is at, and we will see the quality of the lateral movements, the shoulder and half passes, and the flying changes. We want to also be able to see clear transitions between the paces. The final score for perspective takes into account the potential of the horse as a dressage horse and the ability to move on and upward into future competition. Thank you.
Dames en heren, om 11 uur de eerste combinatie. De finale voor de 6-jarige paarden, de Longines Final. The final for the 6-year-old horses. 11 o'clock, the first competitor. Ik stel even de juryleden aan u voor. Bij E zit uit Denemarken de heer Kurt Christensen. En uit Spanje de heer Mariano Santos Redondo. En dan bij C zitten onze juryleden uit Finland, mevrouw Maria Corleander. En uit de Republiek Zuid-Afrika, Mrs. Sharon Rode. I introduce the judges. By E, Mr. Kurt Christensen from Denmark. By E, Mariano Santos Redondo uit Spain. By C, Mrs. Maria Corleander, Finland. And by C, Mrs. Sharon Rode, the Republican South Africa. Dames en heren, voor je slotdag. De Longines World Breeding Dressage Championship for Young Horses. The final, the 6-year-old horses, om 11 uur de eerste deelnemer. Longines Final. The final for 6-year-old horses. Dames en heren, wij gaan aanvang nemen met de Longines prijs. De eerste combinatie. De luxe. De merrie, nakomeling van Don Primusmal Wolkentanz 2. Opgenomen en geregistreerd bij het Rheinische Stamboek. De eerste combinatie voor Duitsland. Laura Blackert, de luxe. De luxe, de merrie van Dom Primus Mal Wolkentanzen 2, gereden door Laura Blankert.
We have seen here a lovely, elegant horse, so clearly with the rider and willing to work. The horse showed a lovely, active trot. We felt it could push a little more from behind. It had lovely rhythm on all the circles and throughout the lateral work. And if anything, we would like to see a little more impulsion at times, 8.5. The walk was clear 4-beat, good over track, but could be a little more over the back at times, 8.2. We saw a very active hind leg, uphill tendency in the canter, well balanced on all the turns and fluent changes. Mostly they were correct. The first one could have had a little more fluency. What we really liked was the extended canter, lovely ground cover, very straight, and came back so well, 8.7. For the submission, lovely obedient horse, super lateral work. We were very pleased with this. The horse kept a lovely contact throughout. It looked light and easy to ride, 8.9. The perspective, if anything, we'd like to see a little more power, but so elegant, and we feel this horse is a very lovely prospect for the future, 8.9.
Terecht applaus mee, dames en heren. Wat een mooie score in deze openingsrit voor Laura Blankert en de luxe. Een score van 86,4. De draf 8,5. De stap 8,2. Galop 8,7. Gereden zijn in het algemeen 8,9. Potentie als dressuurpaard 8,9. 86,4. In totaal 86,40. En u heeft mee kunnen jureren. Op die gratis app, de Spectated Judging. De Longines Final, 6 years old horses. We gaan kijken naar de tweede combinatie. En dat is Bohemian. De ruin, nakomeling van Bordeaux Samarat. Geregistreerd bij het Westfalen paardenstamboek. Voor Denmark, Catherine Kraklut. Bohemian. Bohemian, Bordeaux Male Samarant. Hier gereden door Katrien Krachlet voor Denemarken.
Well, here we have seen another lovely quality horse. We saw very good activity in the hind leg and good rhythm maintained throughout the performance. What did bother us almost throughout, unfortunately, was the tightness in the frame, and the rider should try to correct this. We felt that the horse was really elegant, very well engaged in the trot, kept the rhythm so well through the lateral work. The lateral work, because of the tightness in frame, could have been more fluent at times, an 8.3. The walk was a clear marching walk with good overtrack. We could see perhaps a little more reach through the shoulder and more suppleness over the top line, 8.4. In the canter, very active jump, tight frame again, causing some of the changes to be a little flat. They were beautifully correct, but we wanted to see a little more uphill tendency and self-carriage in the canter. Still, it was the best pace, an 8.5. We saw in the submission at times slight tilting, and we felt that the contact was stronger on the left than the right. The horse was often a little short in the neck and could be a little more fluent at times through the transition, particularly after the extended canter. An 8.0. Perspective, certainly a prospect for the future, no doubt about that, 8.5.
De beoordeling voor Bohemian, Katrien Krachlet voor Denemarken. De draf een 8.3. De stap een 8.4. Galop 8.5. Gereden zijn in het algemeen 8.0. Potentie als dressuurpaard 8.5. En daarmee komen we op een totaalscore van 83.40. Total score 83.40. De Spectated Judging, u heeft mee kunnen gireren. Download de gratis app. En de Spectated Judging 81.838. U heeft mee kunnen gireren en u heeft mee gejureerd 81.838. We gaan door met de derde combinatie, de Longines Final. De 6 years old horses, Kipling van Hoverhatmal Hohenstein. Gereden door Anne Trunsike-Kaart uit Denemarken, Kipling. Kipling, de ruin van Hofradmal Hohenstein E.H. Gefokt en de eigenaar Peter Christensen, de owner en de breeder Peter Christensen. Gereden hier door Anne Trunskegaard uit Denemarken.
Well, we have seen a lovely, light-footed, free-moving horse here today. Very well trained, showing lovely, clear lateral work, lovely bend in the shoulder ends, lovely shoulder freedom, and we must compliment the rider on presenting a very well-trained horse today. We loved the contact. What we felt in the trot, it could have been a little more engaged and more under the center of gravity at times. It's a natural trot with good ground cover, an 8.5. The walk was clear. We had a good overtrack in the extended, more activity in the collection and more suppleness over the back would have been better. So we would have liked the self-carriage to be more clear, 8.3. In the canter, we would like to see the horse a little more uphill, although it was an active canter, very fluent. The changes, the first two were lovely. The last one was not quite clear, an 8.5. So under submission, we saw very clearly that this was a well-trained horse, going according to the scale of training for his level, and we were extremely happy with it, an 8.8. And perspective for the future, an 8.5. Thank you.
Kipling, Anne Trunskegaard voor Denemarken. De draf 8,5. Stap 8,3. Galop 8,5. Gereden zijn in het algemeen 8,8. Potentie als dressuurpaard 8,5. En daarmee komen we op een score van 85,2. Rank 2 on the current scoreboard. Total score 85.20. En daarmee, dames en heren, in de Longines Final gaat de Deense Amazone voorlopig met Kipling naar de tweede plaats. We gaan door met Fiera Girl, de merrie nakomeling van Faustinus Mal Robin Roth. Geregistreerd bij het Zwedische Warmblood Studboek voor Zweden, Yvonne Österholm. Fiera Girl, gefokt en de eigenaar Malin Meerman. Fiera Girl. De merrie van Faustine Smal Ruberot. Opgenomen, geregistreerd bij het Zwedische Warmbloed Studboek. Gereden door de Zweedse Amazone Yvonne Österholm. Longines Final, de 6-year-old horses. Aan de leiding gaat Duitsland met de luxe Laura Blackert. Een score van 86,4. Total score in the lead 86.40.
Well, here we had a horse that showed some very nice work today. He could be a little more advanced for this level. He's still showing that he needs to come more under the body and show us more collection and self-carriage at times. For the trot, we would like to see the horse come more under the body. He lost a little bit of rhythm in the lateral work. He could show more suppleness over the back, a 7.7. For the walk, a clear 4-beat, but we'd like to see more marching and purpose in the extended walk. We'd also like to see the horse come back a little bit better into the collection and medium walk and in more self-carriage, or a better self-carriage, a 7.5. The canter has a clear jump. Again, we were missing the uphill tendency and carrying of the weight behind, a 7.8. For the submission, we had 2 changes clear. We could have had a bit more balance in the half pirouettes. And we felt he was a little insecure in the last change, 7.5. He was late behind there. It's too much. Perspective for the future, certainly a prospect, but he will need to be a little more engaged from behind to become a good dressage horse, 7.6.
Draf 7,7. Stap 7,5. Galop 7,8. Gereden zijn in het algemeen 7,5. Potentie als dressuurpaard 7,6. En daarmee komen we op een score van 76,20. Total score 76.20. En u heeft meegejureerd en u kwam op een score van 78,111. Spectated judging 78.111. Results for Sweden, Fiera Girl, Yvonne Österholm. De 5e combinatie, dames en heren, in de finale, de 6-jarige paarden. De Longines Final, 6-year-old horse, number 5. Rock Forever 2 van Rockwell mal Landstreicher. Wordt hier gereden door de Duitse Amazone Anne-Katrien Wilting. De fokker en de eigenaar Heinz Keunemann. Rock Forever. Rock Forever 2 Rockwell Male Landstreicher. De eigenaar Heinz en Gert Keuneman. En de fokker Heinz Keuneman, de breeder. Hier gereden door Anne-Katrien Wilting. Longines Final, the 6 years old horses.
A very elegant horse here again today. We saw some very active work from him, good shoulder freedom with this horse, and what we liked most today was the canter. The horse showed real ability to collect, which is nice at this stage, and this was the best mark for today. We felt in the trot that the hind legs needed to step more under the center of gravity. In so saying, the good shoulder freedom was a highlight. But we would like to see a change in the self-carriage, a 7.5. The horse shows a really lovely extended walk with a very clear overtrack, and as you can see, he's got a lovely temperament, very relaxed and willing. He unfortunately lost a little bit of the rhythm and found it difficult to collect in coming into the medium walk and into the pirouettes, a 7.8. For the canter, we saw lovely collectability, and we could have seen a little bit more forward into the changes, a little more suppleness over the top line, an 8.5. For the submission, we would like to see the contact sometimes a little bit easier and a little more fluent. Unfortunately, both pirouettes were not in rhythm. So 7.8, and as a prospect for the future, an 8.0.
Anne-Katrien Wilting en Rock Forever. De draf 7,5. De stap 7,8. Galop 8,5. Gereden zijn in het algemeen 7,8. Potentie als dressuurpaard een 8. En daarmee komen we op een score van 79,20. Total score 79.20. Rank 4 on the current scoreboard. En daarmee in deze Longines prijs naar de voorlopige 4e plaats. En u heeft meegejureerd. U kwam op een score van 79,70. Spectated judging 79,70. De 6e combinatie. Dames en heren, Brandon. De hengstnakomeling van Bellissimo en Mal Donnerhall. Geregistreerd bij het Hannoveraanse Stutboek. Voor Spanje, voor Spenau, Nuria Villa Perez. Brandon. Brandon, de hengst van Bellissimo en Mau Donnerhal. Gereden door de Spaanse Amazone Noria Villa Perez. Gefokt door Renate Gerlach en eigenaar Mariam Al-Khalifa.
Well, this is a very lovely looking horse. He's very flashy. We see a lot of qualities in this horse. He had a lovely active hind leg in the trot. We would like to see more suppleness through the contact and that he works more through the top line. He's not always clear in the contact and we feel he gets a bit strong, but still a very, very nice trot with good qualities, therefore 8.0. For the walk, good over track, clear forebeat. We would like to see the horse come back a little bit better in the medium, an 8.3. In the canter, we saw good rhythm, but the contact disturbed the canter today. He was just a little too strong, a 7.5. In the submission, unfortunately, we had to take all of these things into account. The fact that both pirouettes failed and that some of the flying changes failed today as well. He was not always straight and they weren't always clear. So the contact, and we feel you can improve this a lot, and we'd like to see him a little bit better in the scale of training, a 6.9 and therefore a 7.5 in the perspective today.
Brandon, de draf 8,0, stap 8,4, galop 7,5. Gereden zijn in het algemeen 6,9. Potentie als dressuurpaard 7,5. En daarmee komen we op een score van 76,60. Total score voor Brandon 76,660. En u heeft al heel veel meegejureerd, dames en heren. En u kwam op een score wat lager als de internationale jury, 73,711. Spectated judging, 73,711. De laatste combinatie, dames en heren, in het eerste gedeelte, de Longines Final. The last competitor, Demons Classic van Demon Hill Lauris Crusador. Geregistreerd bij het West-Valen paardenstamboek voor Germany, Heiner Schriegen. Damon's Classic, de ruin van Damon Hilmal Lauris Crusador. Geregistreerd bij het Westfalen Stamboek. De eigenaar Dr. Richard Seifert en de breeder, de fokker Christine Becks. Damon's Classic.
Wow, what an impressive, lovely canter we saw today with this horse. We see a horse that shows real potential and possibilities. In the trot work, we had the unfortunate break in the medium to start with. We would have liked to see more suppleness and throughness to the contact and more swinging over the back, a 7.8. The horse in walk showed a lovely, clear shoulder freedom, 4-beat walk. If anything, slight criticism, he could have gone more to the contact, but really a lovely walk, 8.8. The canter, as I said before, lovely jump, shoulder freedom, the ability to collect and ground cover, 8.9. Unfortunately, when we get to the submission, the first change failed. The second and third could have been more fluent, but what disturbed a little bit today was the contact. We would have liked to see the horse happier and going more freely through to the contact and with more suppleness in the lateral work, especially to the left, a 7.6. Prospect for the future and perspective, 8.5.
Damon's Classic, de draf 7,8, stap 8,8, galop 8,9. Gereden zijn in het algemeen 7,6. Potentie als dressuurpaard 8,5. Daarmee komen we op een score van 83,20. Total score 83.20. Rank 4 on the current scoreboard. En u heeft meegejureerd, u zat wat lager, 80,430. Spectated judging, 80.430. Dames en heren, dit was de laatste combinatie in het eerste gedeelte. De Longines Final, de 6 years old horses. En u kunt het zien op het scorebord. Dames en heren, de hoogst geplaatst op dit moment aan de leiding de Luxe. Gereden door de Duitse Amazone Laura Blakker met een scoring van 86,40. In de lead, total score 86.40. Voorlopige tweede plaats, second position, Kipling voor Denmark, Anne Troensegaard. Een score van 85,20. En de voorlopige derde plaats, Bohemian. Katrien Kraklund voor Denemarken, 83,40. Third position, 83.40. Pauze van zo'n 20 minuten. We have a break, 20 minutes. De Longines Final. Longines is proud to be for the first time the title partner of the Longines FEI World Breeding Dressage Championships for young horses. On this occasion, the Switchwatch brand provides its know-how in scoring and data handling, as well as present the official awards for the event. A lady model from the Longines Dolce Vita collection, representing the elegance of both the brand and the sports discipline of dressage. The Longines Final, the 6-year-old horses.
And ladies and gentlemen, in 5 minutes we will have the next horse in the arena. The Longines Final for 6-year-old horses here at the World Championship for Young Horses in Ermelo. Happy you are here. 5 minutes, the next horse. Take your seats. Dames en heren, neemt u uw plaats in op de tribune. We gaan over 5 minuten verder. And ladies and gentlemen, did you download the app Spectator Judging? You can be the judge here in Ermelo. You can give scores, you can give a single mark, but you can also give the marks for the walk, the trot, the canter, the submission and the perspective. Nice prizes to win. Prizes are given by Friendly Hunting and Dressage, Grand Ducal, Luxembourg. Dames en heren, heeft u de app Spectator Judging al gedownload? Want we willen natuurlijk allemaal graag best wel eens jurylid zijn. En dat kunt u doen. Download die app op uw telefoon en u kunt zelf jureren. U kunt 1 punt geven, maar u kunt ook voor de verschillende onderdelen punten geven. En degene die het dichtst is bij het resultaat van onze officiële juryleden krijgt een prachtige prijs aangeboden door Friendly Hunting and Dressage, Grand Ducal, Luxembourg. Spectator Judging. Uw kans om jurylid te zijn. Longines is proud and we are proud to be for the first time the title partner of the Longines FEI World Breeding Dressage Championship for young horses. On this occasion, the Swiss watch brand provides its know-how in scoring and data handling, as well as presents the official watch of the event, a lady model from the Longines Dolce Vita collection, representing the elegance of both the brand and the sport discipline of dressage. Longines. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce the next horse, Danish warm blood, Wilson Stensvang. This son by Wilkins and out of a mare by Blue Horse Don Schufro. The owner Munkedal APS. The rider from Denmark, Sanne Henningsen. Ladies and gentlemen, Wilson Stensvang. What a nice applause. Wilson Stensvang, Danish warm blood. Wilkins Blue Horse Don Chufro. The owner Munkedal APS. And the breeders Mrs. Lene Schmid-Freya and Mr. Egon Freya. The number 8. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, when you like the horses, you can give as much applause as you want.
Well, we saw a horse in a lovely contact today. There was a lot to compliment the rider on. Very nice self-carriage at times, lost it a little bit in the two-track work, but we really enjoyed seeing how easy and harmonious this test was. The horse could come a little more from behind and support more with the hind leg and show more impulsion in the trot work. A 7.8. The walk has clear ground cover and activity. We would have liked a little bit more marching, 8.0. The canter was clearly uphill with good jump and activity in the hind legs and very nicely balanced, 8.7. The flying changes today were a highlight with this horse. Very fluent, very confident and secure. The only area where we'd like to see improvement is the self-carriage in the lateral work. An 8.7, and perspective for this horse today, 8.5.
And there we have the results for Wilson Stensvang. Trot, dat is de draf, dames en heren, 7.8. Walk, de stap, een 8. Canter, de galop, 8.7. De submission, de gehoorzaamheid, de meewerkendheid van het paard, 8.7. Perspective, de potentie en de toekomst als dressuurpaard, 8.5. Een totaal van 83.4. 83.4%. Rank 3. Wilson Stensvang. And the spectator judging, you as a judge, 81.307. You were a bit lower, 81.307. The spectator judging. Standing ovation, the next horse. A mare, Trakener, Imperio, Consul. The owners, Mr. and Mrs. Torsen. And the breeder is Mrs. Sabine Oberdick. Rider from Luxembourg, Christine Muller. Standing ovation. Standing ovation, ladies and gentlemen. Trakener, Imperial Consul, a mare daughter by Imperio. The owner, Mr. and Mrs. Thorsen, and the breeder is Mrs. Sabine Oberdick. Rider from Luxembourg, Christine Muller. Standing ovation, the number 9. We are watching the Longines Final for 6-year-old horses. With a beautiful score of 86.4, still leading, nog steeds aan de leiding Deluxe. De second place on our current scoreboard, 85.2, de tweede plaats voorlopig voor Kipling. En Bohemian, 83.4, currently on 3.
Well, this was a very elegant horse with lovely free moving trot, flexibility in the shoulders, good rhythm. We would have liked to see a little more carrying, but lovely medium and extended trot. Slightly hurried on the last one, we felt. Could have been a little less in rhythm. 8.8. More purpose and marching we would have liked to see in the walk. But it was perhaps a little lacking in activity, but very relaxed and stretching to the contact well. 8.0. The canter could have had a little more airtime and jump, but it's a clear rhythm. We would have liked a little more suppleness in the body. The extended canter also could have been more uphill, a 7.8. On the submission side, the horse is very obedient and listening to the rider. We could have seen a little more supple bend at times and a little lighter on the left rein. The first change was a little short, which was unfortunate, but the others were clear and fluent. And of course, we did see a break in the second half pass. 7.9 today. And we ended up, in perspective, certainly a horse for the future, 8.3.
Thank you very much for your comments. Trot, 8.8. Walk, 8. Canter, 7.8. Submission, 7.9. Perspective, de toekomst als dressuurpaard, 8.3. Makes a total of 81.6%. Rank 3, standing ovation. $80.981 spectator judging, 80.981. De beoordeling van onze juryleden op de tribune. Official results 81.16. And ladies and gentlemen, the next one in this final for the 6-year-old horses, presented by Longines, Bluetooth. A gelding, Oldenburger Verband, registered in Germany and Oldenburg, Bordeaux Riccione. The breeder, Gestüt Lewitz. The rider from Germany, Stefan Fraam. Bluetooth, nummer 10 op uw startlijst. Bluetooth, the number 10. Registered in Germany in Oldenburg. A gelding by Bordeaux out of Regione Mer. Rider Stefan Fraam, Bluetooth. Bred at Gestut Lewitz. And then, ladies and gentlemen, also for Bluetooth, we will get the comments by our judges.
A lovely, elegant horse again, and the highlight for us today was the trot work. Really energetic, well-balanced, active hind leg in good cadence, medium trot, not overridden, but clear lengthening in the strides, stepping very well under the body. A 9.4. The walk today could have been steadier and more clearly going to the contact and following the hand. The rhythm was clear. We would have liked to see more ground cover. We feel with more contact, the horse could show more. 7.5. The submission today, we saw lovely trot work. We were so impressed up until the canter, and well, he was rather enthusiastic, wasn't he? And the rider did very well to get the horse back under control afterwards. The changes could be more fluent throughout. There's clearly a little bit of hesitancy in the changes. A 7.3 for submission today. But we really like the horse. We feel that it shows real perspective for the future. An 8.5.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, your applause. Bluetooth. Trot, the draf, 9.4. Walk, 7.5. The stop, the canter, the galop, 8.2. For submission, 7.3. Submission, gehoorzaamheid, meewerkendheid. 7.3, perspective 8.5. De potentie als dressuurpaard maakt een totaal van 81.8%, 81,8%. En dat betekent voorlopig een 6e plaats. Rank 6. And then we have spectator judging. You were lower with 79.526, 79.526. U als jurylid voor Bluetooth. What a beautiful venue here in Ermelo. What a beautiful horses in this Longines Final for 6-year-olds. 15 horses in this final. Awaiting the number 11. And now we have the next horse. Registered in Germany in Oldenburg. Sir Ollie. A stallion by Sir Donald Heinz, out of the mare by Florestan Heinz. The owner, Mrs. Vivienne Kust, and the breeder, Mr. Gert Kust. From Germany, the rider, and Christine Wienkamp. Ladies and gentlemen, Sir Ollie. This was the number 11 Sir Ollie, the stallion by Sir Donald Eins out of the Florestan Eins mare. Sir Ollie bred in Germany in Oldenburg. The owner Mrs. Vivienne Kust and the breeder Mr. Gert Kust. 11, the final, the 6-year-old horses here in Ermelo, presented by Longines.
Well, this is a horse also in a lovely frame and contact almost throughout the test. A free-moving horse with elegance and suppleness throughout the test. We saw good rhythm in the trot. We felt the horse could come a little more under the body in the medium and extended trots. But there was good cadence and such good suppleness over the back, 8.5. In the walk, the horse was over tracking very well, a clear ground cover and shoulder freedom, and really marching to the bridle, 8.8. In the canter, the horse has a lovely mechanic. He just really works beautifully through the body. It could have been a little more uphill at times, 8.9. We saw the horse in a lovely contact and frame throughout for the submission. He got slightly on the forehand in the one change, and then he came slightly above in the other. So we had to take off a little bit for that. But fluency in the lateral work and in all of the transitions, an 8.7. Perspective for this horse, 8.9.
Sir Ollie, trot 8.5, walk 8.8, canter 8.9, submission 8.7, the perspective 8.9, makes a total of 87.6, and currently the number 1 on our ranking, 87.6, 87,6%, dames en heren, voor Sir Ollie. US spectators were a bit lower, 81%, 81% spectator judging. But the official result, and that's the most important, 87.6%. Rank 1 for Sir Ollie. Nederlands gefokt paard, dames en heren, Nederlandse Amazone Flanel. Registered in the Netherlands, KWPN, the Royal Dutch Sport Horse, the mare by Apache Don Schufro. The owner, B. Roerink and V. Roerink Bijlen, the Netherlands, and the breeder, Mr. B. Roerink Bijlen. The rider from the Netherlands, representing the Netherlands, Veronique Roerink, Flanel, 12th. It seems to be you are happy with the Flanel Apache Don Chufro KWPN. The owner B. Roering en V. Roering uit Bijlen. And the proud breeder B. Roering, also Bijlen, the Netherlands. Rider from the Netherlands, Veronique Roering. Flanel, the number 12.
Another lovely, elegant horse, really clearly working with the rider. There was so much to like about this performance today. We had an active, very active hind leg. It could have produced a little more swinging and suppleness over the back and a little more ground cover in the medium trots. An 8.2. Oh, sorry, my apologies, I've misread my marker. 8.0. The walk has a clear rhythm. We would have liked to see more over-tracking, and again, we felt that the back was a little tight. We had to see a little more suppleness over the back. In the medium walk, we wanted to see a little more self-carriage and willingness to collect the walk, a 7.6. In the canter, we would have liked to see, again, more ground cover, more elasticity over the back, but very, very well balanced, showing good ability to collect. 8.8. Submission for this horse, very fluent, lovely riding. The half past left could have been slightly more supple, and we could have seen more throughout use of the back. 8.8. Perspective today also 8.8. Well done.
Ja, dames en heren, dat geeft dan een resultaat van 84% en dat betekent voorlopig een vierde plaats. 84% the total, rank number 4. The trot 8, walk 7.6, canter 8.8, submission 8.8, perspective 8.8, total 84, rank 4. 84, vierde plaats, voorlopig voor Flanel. Sir Ollie still leading, Deluxe on the second place, Kipling on the third place, and this Flanel currently on 4. Longines Final for the 6-year-old horses. And then we have the next horse, the number 13, for Legend KS, KWPN, the Royal Dutch Sport Horse. The stallion, the approved stallion, approved KWPN, owned by KS Horses, Winton, out of a Pharaoh mare, the breeders J.M. Jansen, G. Jansen Blanke, Joppe, the Netherlands. The rider Marieke van der Putten, for Legends KS, the number 13. for Legends KS. The stallion by Winton out of the Pharaoh mare KWPN, the owner KS Horses, and the breeder G. Jansen Blanken and JM Jansen Blanken Joppe, the Netherlands, for Legends KS.
Wow, what a lovely horse. Stunning ability and real perspective. We were so happy with the trot work. It was lovely, active, with an uphill trot, wonderful engagement of the hind leg. It was nearly perfect. 9.8. The walk was clear, rhythmic. We felt it could have covered a little more ground and follow the hand more at times. 8.5. The canter, it's really a lovely mechanic, good uphill tendency. He steps really well under the body. We saw slight tension at times before the changes. We took that into the submission. A 9.0. The submission today, we had real problems with the changes. There was tension before, and we saw 3 out of the 4 changes failed today. So we had to punish that a little harshly. There was slight tilting. We could have had more bend in the lateral work, but with these lovely mechanics, it is more difficult. The rhythm was a little bit lost in the pirouettes, and we ended up with a 7.2 for submission today. The perspective for this horse, really lovely. We think he's a beautiful horse, a 9.0.
We can see a big smile on the face of Marieke van der Putten. Trot, 9.8 for the draf. The walk, the stop, 8.5. Canter, the galop, a 9. Submission, 7.2. Perspective, a 9. A total of 87%, rank 2. (87%), 87%, dames en heren, goed voor een tweede plaats. And then we have spectator judging. You as a judge were a bit lower. You were at 85,714%. 85,714. De mensen die meedoen aan spectator judging. En dat kunt u allemaal doen. De app downloaden. En u bent gewoon jurylid hier in Ermelo. Five star. Also registered in the Netherlands, KWPN, the Royal Dutch Sport Horses, also KWN approved, this 5 star. A stallion by Amazing Star, Jess. The owner, T. Villaras, and the breeder, PG Bijvelds at Erp and ASM Bijvelds Erp. 5 star, the number 14. You are a fantastic crowd here in Ermelo. 5-star. Amazing star. Jess, KWPN. The owner T. Willaris, the breeder PG Bijvelds Erp and ASM Bijveld, also Erp. The rider from the Netherlands, Kirsten Brouwer. 5-star.
Well, what a lovely horse. So, with its rider, very willing to work, with lovely mechanics. We were very happy with this horse. We felt in the trot it could have stepped a little more under the body, particularly in the medium. But a lovely mechanic and lovely rhythms maintained throughout. 8.7. The walk, clear, good over track. We would have liked to see a little more marching at times in the extended. A 9.0. The canter, clear uphill tendency. Again, very nice mechanics, good freedom in the shoulder. And a lovely willingness to collect after the extended canter, a 9.0. The submission, we had slight resistance in the 1/2 pass, and we could have seen better bending throughout in the lateral work. The pirouettes worked well, and all changes clear and correct, 8.8. The perspective of this horse, we wish you wonderful future with it, 9.0.
And then we want to know the total. The total is 89%, rank 1, 5-star. Voorlopig op een eerste plaats, dames en heren. 89%. Trot 8.7, walker 9, canter 9, submission 8.8, perspective, de toekomst als dressuurpaard een 9, total 89%, rank number 1, 89%. Then we have spectator judging, 86.85, 86.85, het resultaat spectator judging. Entering the arena here in Ermelo, the last horse in this Longines Final for the 6-year-old horses, Fiontini, Danish warm blood. The owner and the breeders, Hanne Lund and Mr. Henrik Hansen. Fassbinder Romanov, the rider from Spain, Severo Jesus Jurado Lopez. And this horse on the Danish quota. Yeah, sorry ladies and gentlemen, the applause has to come to an end. Fiontini, Danish Warmblood, Fassbinder, Romanov, this mare. The rider, Severo Jesus Jurado Lopez.
Well, I don't think you need me to tell you that this was a lovely horse and so well presented today. This horse has so much perspective. I'm going to start with that mark, or should I leave it till the end? Okay, we'll leave it till the end. The horse has lovely, clear ground cover in the trot. We felt at times the rider should take care that it doesn't become a little passage-like. So it could be a little more flowing at times for a young horse. A 9.5. And I must mention that the extension totally blew the judges away. There's such lovely rhythm and maintenance of the rhythm and clear ground cover. The walk was a highlight. So clear, so relaxed, in a wonderful rhythm. And what was interesting was how well the horse collected into the medium walk and collected walk before the pirouettes. A 9.8. The canter. Very active hind legs, so well placed under the body to give this horse wonderful propulsion. It's a wow extended canter. He came back so well, 9.7. On the submission, there's still room for a little bit of improvement. The lateral bend could be better. And the one change was not so fluent. The horse was anticipating a little bit and becoming slightly tense, although they were all through. 8.9. So, the mark you're all waiting for is the perspective, and we gave it a 10.
And ladies and gentlemen, no need to tell you that this is the world champion 6-year-old horses, Fiontini. (95.8%). 95,8%. Wat een resultaat. Geeft u nog een keer een applaus. U ziet hem natuurlijk terug bij de prijsuitreiking. Fiontini. And then we have spectator judging 93.172, 93.172, de spectator judging. And then we have the numbers 1, 2, 3 for the spectator judging, the first one. the numbers 1, 2, 3 spectator judging. The first one, Bertine. Florentine, the second one in spectator judging. And the third one is Joost. You can meet at the Orange Horse after the prize giving ceremony in front of the building, and you will get your prizes there. Bertine, Florentine and Joost. And we also invite the breeders of the numbers 1, 2, 3 are invited to join the prize giving ceremony. The breeders of the gold, the silver and the bronze medal winners are invited for the prize giving ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, the medal ceremony for the Longines Final of the 6-year-old horses will now take place. And we invite the numbers 8 to 4 in the arena. And ladies and gentlemen, of course, your applause The number 8 Bohemian. Bohemian registered in Germany, Westfalen, gelding by Bordeaux out of the Sammerland Muller. The rider from Denmark, Katrien Kraklund, Bohemian. And then we have the number 7 KWPN. Veronique Roering, the rider from the Netherlands, Apache Don Schufro. And of course, TAF registered. The rider from Denmark, Anne Tortengard Kipling. 9 years old, this son by Hofraat, out of the Hohenstein mare. Kipling. A lot of fans in Ermelo for Kipling. And ladies and gentlemen, then we go to the next one. We are expecting the number 5. Where are those fans from Rhineland? Deluxe. The rider from Germany, Laura Blackett, Deluxe, Don Primus, Wolkentanz 2. He likes your applause. Then we're going to the number 4, KWPN, the Royal Dutch Sport Horse, Winton Ferro, 4 Legends. Marieke van der Putten, dames en heren, ladies and gentlemen, the rider from the Netherlands, Marieke van der Putten. An applause for 4 Legends. And ladies and gentlemen, the prizes in the Longines Final for the 6-year-old horses will be presented by Mr. Frank Kemperman. Mr. Frank Kemperman, the chairman of the FEI Dressage Committee. And on behalf of our sponsor Longines, brand manager for the Netherlands, Mrs. Judith Mennen. On behalf of the organizing committee, the president of the organizing committee, Mr. Bots. And of course, the president of the ground jury from Finland, Mrs. Maria Colliander, and the president of the World Breeding Federation for Sport Horses from Denmark, Mr. Jan Petersen. Ladies and gentlemen, the bronze medal goes to Sir Ollie with Anne-Christine Wienkamp, Oldenburger Verband. The members of the protocol are entering the arena. And Mr. Frank Kemperman, the chairman of the FEI Dressage Committee, together with Mr. Jan Petersen, the president of the World Breeding Federation for Sport Horses, they will hand over the bronze medal and, of course, the beautiful flowers to Sir Ollie. Oh, that's easy to fix, ladies and gentlemen. We just changed the horses and we still have the same horse and we still have the same bronze medal. Sir Ollie, Anne-Christine Wienkamp, Oldenburg. Mr. Kemperman, he is the chairman of the FEI Dressage Committee. He will hand over, and he handed already over, the bronze medal, and Mr. Jan Petersen, the president of the World Breeding Federation for Sport Horses, the flowers. And then, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to announce the silver medal winner. And the silver medal goes to 5-star Kirsten Brouwer, Royal Dutch Sport Horse. The medal presented by Mr. Kemperman and the flowers by Mr. Jan Petersen. And ladies and gentlemen, world champion of the 6-year-old horses and winner of the gold medal, Fiontini, Severo, Jesus, Jurado, Lopez. Danish warm blood. Mr. Kemperman hands over the gold medal for the world champion, Fiontini. And of course, Mr. Petersen, the president of the World Breeding Federation for Sport Horses, the beautiful flowers for Fiontini. And ladies and gentlemen, I would like to ask you to stand up for the national anthem of the world champion and the gold medal winner. Fiontini, the world champion, Danish warm blood. And then congratulations by Mrs. Judith Mennen, the Longines brand manager for the Netherlands. The congratulations and of course the beautiful Longines watch for the winner of this 6-year-old World Championship, Fiorentino Severo Jesus Jurado Lopez. And of course, also the congratulations by our proud sponsor, Longines, for 5-star and Kirsten Brouwer. And Mrs. Mennen, also the congratulations to Sir Ollie and Christine Wienkamp. And then the congratulations by the president of the ground jury today, Mrs. Maria Colliander, Finland. And, ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Maria Colliander, of course, also congratulations to 5-star and Kirsten Brouwer. And then congratulations by Mr. Jan Pedersen, the president of the World Breeding Federation for Sport Horses. He hands over the certificates to the breeders of the 3 best horses, and we invite the breeders to enter the arena. And of course, they took the decision to breed these horses, so they deserve an applause. The breeders of the gold, the medal and the silver winner. And Mr. Peterson, he hands over the beautiful certificates to the breeders of these beautiful gold, silver and medal winners. And of course, the pictures here in Ermelo. Also, beautiful certificates for the number 3 for bronze. And of course the organizing committee, the organizing board, represented by the president of the organizing board of this World Championships, Mr. Atbot. He's the president of the organizing committee. And he hands over the stable plates to the athletes of these horses. And of course, a beautiful stable plate as a remembrance to this World Championship. 5-star and Kirsten Brouwer. And then the bronze medal, Sir Ollie. And ladies and gentlemen, then we ask the members of the protocol to step back. And then, ladies and gentlemen, of course, here in Ermelo, you're already standing, and the athletes turn around to the grandstand to get your applause before we start with a beautiful lap of honor here at this World Championships. Ladies and gentlemen, gold medal, the world champion, Sir Ollie. Oldenburger Verband. And silver goes today in this competition for the 6-year-old horses, 5-star Kirsten Brouwer, KWPN. Fiontini, gold. Severo, Jesus, Jurado Lopez. Danish Warmblood. Gold for Fiontini, silver goes to 5-star, and bronze Sir Ollie. And ladies and gentlemen, one more time, give a huge applause. Enjoy Fiontini. What a horse, Fiontini. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you once again, Longines. One more final to go here in Ermelo today at this World Championship for the young dressage horses, ladies and gentlemen. Stay with us, stay tuned.